Good morning, campers. I am Miss Jackson. I will be your math instructor for the summer. This week is Superhero Week. So today we are going to become super mathematicians. Okay, so before we begin to get in our lesson, we need to understand what are place values, okay? You all don't have as many place values depending on your grade level, but today we are just going to practice 4 place values. The first place value we're going to start is all the way over here, and that is your ones place. The ones place. The second place value is our tens. The third place value, and if you notice we're moving to the left, is hundreds. And the last one that we're going to practice today, don't forget your comma, is the thousands. So before we get into our lesson, it's very important that you understand where these place values are located in a number. So let's do a little practice. If you have the number 64, you need to understand that the 6 is in the tens place and the 4 is in the ones place. If you have a hard time with that, that's okay. Because remember, we are super mathematicians. All you have to do is label those numbers. And I'm going to abbreviate here. Ones, tens. Okay, so I'm on another number. If you had the number 528, you must understand that the 5 is in the hundreds, the 2 is in the tens, and the 8 is in the ones. And you could label those as well. I put an O for ones, T for tens, H for hundreds. Okay, HTO. And lastly, if we had the number 6,836, you must understand that the 6 is in the ones place, the 3 is in the tens place, the 8 is in the hundreds place, and 6 before our comma is the thousands place. So I use the abbreviation TH for thousands. So now that we understand place values, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and we can recognize which digits are in which specific place value, now we're going to get into our lesson. Today we are going to learn about understanding place value, okay? So I'm sure you all have already heard of place value before. And today we're going to learn 2 concepts to help you when you are rounding numbers using your place values. So the first concept we're going to understand is rounding, but we're going to use a rap to remember it. So the rap goes, find the place value, circle that digit, move to the right, underline, get it, okay? So eventually, once we keep doing it, you'll get it. And then we are going to shift and learn about the rounding triangle to help us with our place values. So with the rounding triangles, any numbers from 0 to 4 you would stay the same. When you are rounding numbers and the digit that you're looking at that's on the right, if it's from 0 to 4, you're going to stay the same. Any numbers from 5 to 9, you're going to add 1 to those numbers. Okay, So we're going to get into some examples so you can understand what that looks like. So say, for example, we had the number 846. First, you need to understand your place values. 8 is in the hundredths place. 4 is in the tens place. And 6 is in the ones place. So if I asked you to round to the nearest hundredths, you would need to understand that the number that we're looking at is 8, because 8 is in the hundredths place. If I ask you to round to the nearest tens place, then you would need to understand that the number we're looking at is 4, because 4 is in the tens place. And if I ask you to round to the nearest 1, 6 would be in the ones place, but we wouldn't do ones, it would be whole number. Okay, so let's look at this number 846, and we want to round to the nearest hundredth first. So 8 is my digit in the hundredths place. So we're going to use our wrap to answer that question. Find the place value, circle that digit, move to the right, underline. Now, how are we going to get it? We're going to get it from our rounding triangle. What does the 4 tell you to do to the 8? The 4 is on the side that says stay the same. So the 4 tells you to keep the 8. The 8 remains the same. Here's our get it, which is 8. Everything after my circled digit turns into a 0. So 846 rounded to the nearest hundredths is 800. We round this to the nearest hundredths, okay? Now I'm going to take that same number, 846, and I want to round to the nearest tens place, the nearest tens. So let's use our wrap. Find the place value, tens place, circle that digit. The 4 is in the tens place. Move to the right. Know your left from right. This is your right. Underline. And where are we getting it from? Our rounding triangle. So what does the 6 tells me to do to this 4? The 6 is on the right side of the rounding triangle, so it tells us to add 1. We're adding 1 to the circled digit, and our circled digit was 4, so we're going to add 1. And what is 4 plus 1? 5. So anything in front of your circle remains the same. So the 8 stays the same. The circle digit, what are we doing to our circle digit? We're adding 1. That turns into a 5. And remember, anything after your circle digit turns into a 0. Okay? So now we're going to practice one more example. And then you all are going to practice it on your own in your online classroom. Now we're going to do a bigger number. $9,791. Okay. And we want to round 9,791 to the nearest 100. And over here is where I'm placing the place value that we're rounding to, the hundredths place. So let's first identify, find the place value. The place value is 100. Circle that digit. The digit in the hundreds place is 7. Move to the right. Underline, get it from our rounding triangle. So this underlined digit 9 is on the right side of our rounding triangle that tells us to add 1. So we're gonna add 1 to our circled digit. Just put your +1 above your circled digit. Anything in the front of your circled digit stays the same. So the 9 stays the same. Now, what did our get it tell us to do with our circle digit? Add 1. So that turns into an 8. And anything after our circle digit becomes a 0. So 9,791 rounded to the nearest hundred is 9,800. Okay, now you're going to practice everything that you just saw on your own. And I want you to remember, you are super mathematicians. So all you have to do is believe in yourself. See you next time.